All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. This is episode 988 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. Listen, if you're looking for a place to stay current on the current state of cybersecurity while engaging in community, leveling up as a professional, learning tips, tricks, and techniques, and being the best cyber practitioner you can be, all while doing it every single day to start your workday or end your workday, no matter what. That's what we're doing here. This is the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. Say hello in chat, and we're off and running. All right, that's right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's doing well. 2 weeks out from Simply CyberCon. We had the big organizer meeting yesterday. We are locked and loaded and ready to deliver what I would consider a very good experience for all the Simply Cyber community members, whether in person or virtual. We got you covered. I promise you that. Now, as far as the Daily Cyber Threat Brief goes, I want you to know, good morning, Ben Willis. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including 988, is worth half a CPE. So what's up in chat? Grab a screenshot, file it away once a year, count those screenshots, divide by 2. That's the number of CPEs you got. Kayla Sturgeon, community member, crunched the numbers, and I can tell you definitively it can be up to 120 CPEs a year, significantly more than you'll ever be required to do for any cert that I'm aware of. That's how good it is, how easy it is. Holla, 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 holla. I want to say what's up to all the regulars in chat. Good morning, Marcus Kyler, Priceless Pancake, Nerman, Rhonda, AdTech. Guys, Sierra Montgomery's in the house, everybody. Oh, I want everyone to know we did get back on the main A mixing board. However, and Space Tacos, if she's around, is going to love this. However, the soundboard part, the Stream Deck, is not functioning. So we will be going manual sound effects today. Let me give it one more shot. Yep. I did not hear Ric Flair go, woo! So it's a manual sound effect day today. And if you're a regular, you know what that means. It's going to be a Hot Mess Express. And if you're new here, well, first of all, welcome to the party, pal. Second of all, we usually have regular sound effects, but when we don't, I deliver business continuity because I'm a GRC dork, and we will be doing it manually today. Now, I want to know, if today's your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We'd love to welcome our first timer and welcome our first timers and, basically let you know how welcome you are, how inclusive you are, and all the things. There's Space Tacos loving the sound effects. So it's all about good times. Yeah, we will talk about AWS. BGP meets DNS in an epic showdown. The Voltron of networking protocols combines to drop the people's elbow on the internet yesterday. Before we get into it, let me say shout out and holla to the stream sponsors. We'll do Barricade Cyber later in the show, but right now, let me tell you, holla, 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 holla to Anti-Siphon Training. Some of you might be doing John Strand's SOC core skills this week, day 2 today. If you are, I hope you're enjoying it and getting mad value. I do strongly endorse Anti-Siphon Training and the work they do. Anti-Siphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. And this Wednesday, October 22nd, tomorrow, Tim Fowler is going to be talking about hacking in space. We talked yesterday about that academic paper that was stealing data flowing into and out of geospatial satellites. Tim Fowler's the guy that you want to listen to. If you're interested in even a modicum of cybersecurity in space, this is for you. Absolutely free webcast, 1 hour. You get a CPE for it. Holla. I'll drop a link to this. Thank you, Anti-Cypher, for your support. And thank you, Tim Fowler, for educating on the space front. Really quick, everybody. Squad members, we have a first-timer in chat. We have a first-timer in chat. I repeat, we have a first-timer in chat, which means only one thing. Mike Lowens 406. Welcome to the party, pal. Mike Lowens. Welcome to the party. Actually, manual sound effects. Welcome to the party, pal. Manual sound effects. All right. Thank you, everybody. Mad Destroyer, AdTech, Taco Mondo. I love it. Also want to say shout out and love to Delete Me. You guys know Delete Me. It's kind of a hodgepodge this week because I screwed up the ad reads last week, but check it out. Delete Me. I use Delete Me. I know some of you in chat use Delete Me. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. Delete Me knows your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. I told Delete Me, I challenge you, delete all my information from online. Go for it. Get busy. Addresses, phone numbers, criminal record. You know what I mean? Delete it all. So it is important to me. I'd like to choose who knows what about me. Privacy is it's a right. It's not like a privilege, okay? Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and a code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Code simplycyber. Yeah, holla. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And you know what we do on Tuesdays? Tidbits Tuesday. Share a little bit about myself. See how people are vibing. Sometimes it's personal, like I loathe sour cream, as many of you are aware. And sometimes it's a bit more fun, like I got back into Magic the Gathering. Whatever it is, we see what's going on, share a little bit with each other, and have some fun, breaking up the news stories as it were. Let's hear a quick word from Threat Locker, and then we're going to get cooking. First timers say what's up. Remember, if you didn't know, there's still time. Oh my God, bro. There's still time here to get to Simply CyberCon. Go to simplycybercon.org to learn more. CyberCon that feels like coming home. Absolutely what we're about. Mike Lowens 406. We're about support, inclusion, and empowerment. Quick word from Threat Locker, and then we're going to melt your face with the top cyber news. Let's go. I want to give some love to the daily cyber threat brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, hold on. I'm updating. I'm updating the you know, the little ticker that's going to go above my head in a second. There we go. There we go. We're going to do this really quickly. You get to see how the sausage is made. Sausage sounds good. There we go. And finally, Windows smart card auth issues. Okay. Oh, I messed up. Damn it. I always do that. All right, so not exactly in the right order, but you know what? We're going to give me a B. And you know what a B is? It's a passing grade. So that'll count. You know what they call the person who graduates last at Dakota State University with a PhD? Doctor. LOL. Ha ha. I'm joking. I didn't graduate last. I didn't graduate first, though. Believe that. All right, everybody, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news, spicy, wash over us in an awesome wave. I will see you at the mid-roll. Again, Mike Lowens, we're doing manual sound effects today. I am not a lunatic.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. I'm Lauren Verno.
Hey, Lauren.
DNS failure leads to AWS outage. Was anyone marked safe from the AWS outage on Monday? Yeah, I didn't think so. An Amazon Web Service outage took down dozens, if not more, of global platforms, including Amazon, Snapchat, Roblox, Hulu, and financial apps like Robinhood and Coinbase. Now, the disruption stemmed from a domain name system or DNS failure in AWS's critical US East 1 region in Northern Virginia, impacting at least 28 AWS services. Now, AWS says the issue was resolved Monday morning after engineers identified and mitigated the DNS problem, though lingering effects could be felt by those just trying to get through the workday.
Okay, so this was a big one, and it impacted a lot of services. Okay, it just goes to show you, like, basically Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they manage and control so much of the functional internet that when one of them has I don't want to call it a catastrophic, but very, very serious problem, borderline catastrophic. The impacts are felt far and wide. Okay. Like there's like three little ponds, AWS, Microsoft, and Google. And when someone throws a boulder in the middle of it, it's going to make some ripples that impact everyone. Now, Fortnite being down, I'm sure the Fortnite people were pissed, right? They probably lost money, but like my kid can find something else to do. When your business services go down, like you're an online retailer, like I don't know, like Netflix or Amazon, the store itself, right? I'm sure Amazon knows exactly how much money they're making per minute and how much money they lost per minute yesterday. So this was bad. Now, two things I want to point out, because I did a little bit of research on this. Oh, by the way, I should have told you guys, I don't ever research or prep for these stories. However, I'm a cybersecurity professional and I consume cybersecurity information all day, every day, right? So like, obviously this story was gigantic. It impacted more than just the daily cyber threat brief, right? Like I needed to know more about this. So I dug into it a little bit. Two things I want to point out for practitioners, okay? Number one, I got asked by multiple people yesterday, is this a cyber attack? Now, I did say with high confidence, this was not a cyber attack. I didn't have all the facts. I was not on I wasn't on the bridge. Typically when you're dealing with like DR and incident response, they'll open a like a teleconference phone number that people can dial in and dial out of, and they call it a bridge, just so everybody knows that terminology. So I wasn't dialed into the bridge. I wasn't getting updates. But when you see things like this, if you've been around for more than a minute and you have gray in your beard like I do, you know that this is a network engineer made a mistake somehow, and it's percolating downward. When you fix network protocol problems, it doesn't instantly fix. It has to percolate through, depending on how big a problem it is, it has to percolate through, routing tables, ARP tables, DNS records, updating, all that crap. It takes a minute, okay? So that's number one. Now, number two, the technical problem here. But basically, I wanted to say that so you could say, when you see something like this, it's typically not a cyber attack. Now, number two, and to me, more interesting, how did this happen? Okay, I can't wait to get to the Citadel this morning, and DJ Bisek has appeared in the chat. This was one of the rarer super colliders where a BGP route was updated, and somebody at Amazon, and this is where the mistake lies in architecture, okay? And people who think that architects aren't real people, please sit down. Amazon had all their DNS servers inside one network segment, or ASN basically. And when the BGP route got messed up and it blocked, hold on, let me go full screen here. When the BGP route got updated and basically disappeared, okay, let me take a step back. The internet is a network of networks, period, full stop. ASNs are networks. BGP routes those networks together. This is why you can have a segment of the internet disappear for a minute and the internet continues to operate. It's because BGP is no longer routing traffic down into that ASN. What happened yesterday was there was a BGP update. I don't know who did it. Carl! I don't know who did it, okay? My assumption is an engineer accidentally did something, and the segment in AWS East 1 disappeared. The DNS servers were in that one. DNS disappeared. Now, no one's doing static routes all over the place. Okay? Oh my, okay, so DJ B-Sec's having himself a laugh about the me explaining routing. DJ B-Sec, if you're dressed and you want to get in here and talk about this particular one, it would be nice to have you. I know I'm not doing it disservice or injustice, though. Because we don't use static routes, we use dynamic routes using DNS and resolution. When those AWS DNS servers disappeared, all the services that depended on AWS DNS, which includes a lot of AWS services, no longer resolved. And when they don't resolve, they can't reach the internet resources. And basically, you have a denial of service attack. You have an unavailability because DNS cannot resolve. That's what's up. Okay. Now I'm getting punked on for my hands. I'm getting punked on for my network engineering. I'm telling you. Now, here's the deal. You basically update BGP, get that back up and running. It takes time to percolate, and then the DNS servers get back online and things get going. Why it lasted as long as I did, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe they had to figure out how to fix it, and it took some time. But I will tell you, this is the final thing to take away, because I see a lot of people, Phil Stafford, pseudonym, I'm sure DJ B-Sec said this to himself right now. Whenever there's a network problem, the first two things that you should investigate is a firewall rule or DNS. Okay? Firewall rule, you can check by trying to like push traffic through and see if a firewall's blocking it. Number two is DNS, and you can do, like, if you try to ping an explicit IP and it goes through, but you ping, or you do like an NS lookup and the name does not resolve to an IP address, you got a DNS problem. But I'm telling you, more times than not, DNS or firewall rules will be the problem. And occasionally you get like a, someone has unplugged, or like the Ethernet cable's not plugged in. All right. So, in final thoughts on here, DJ B-Sec saying they did fix the BGP route early in the morning, but it did take time to start resolving correctly. And that's just, that's networking, guys. That's a routing protocol having to update. The best part about the internet is that it's resilient with the routing protocols. One of the challenges of the internet is you can't expedite the routing protocols. You can flush DNS on your own Windows workstation, but as far as I know, you can't flush a table at like a backbone router. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. DJ B-Sec will be here on the 9s to deliver the weather and networking information. All right. And by the way, if you don't know what BGP is, now's the time to figure it out. It is definitely one of the most important protocols in the internet, and it's one of the least talked about ones.
China accuses NSA of hacking National Time Center. Now, China has accused the U.S. National Security Agency, or NSA, of carrying out cyber attacks on its National Time Service Center, claiming the attacks exploited messaging service vulnerabilities and 42 types of special cyber attack weapons between 2022 and 2024. The center maintains and distributes China's official standard time, which supports critical systems like communications, financial networks, power grids, transport, and you get the picture. Meaning any disruption could have widespread consequences. As of this recording, the U.S. has not responded to the allegations.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we're basically in a Cold War. We're basically in a technical Cold War with China. I'm sure the NSA has poked and prodded and done all sorts of nonsense with China in the past. China flew a hot air balloon with a tech stack underneath it across the U.S. Like, if you're not, again, this is the cyber news. This isn't speculative hot take central. I do have a tinfoil hat emote if you want to use it, but like, I don't know. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic. I don't think I'm being, fear mongering here. Just look at it. There's a million things going back and forth across the wire between China and the U.S. And I'm not even talking about tariffs or supply chain or any of that crap. It's what's going on, dude. I don't know, like, again, this is a bit of a speculative hot take, but I feel like, this is like the WW Space Tacos. Get ready to drink. Okay. We have a drinking game here on the channel, Mike Lowens. We have a drinking game where if I make a 80s or early 90s reference because somehow I'm frozen in time in that era, you drink. Okay. So really quick, to me, I know it's ridiculous, but like, I like to think that the United States is like either Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan. I didn't really ever like Hulk Hogan, so we'll go Ric Flair, right? This is WWF, pre-WWE, right? Ric Flair, it's like, to be the man, you got to beat the man, right? And then China is somehow like, I don't know, Big Boss Man or Honky Tonk Man or one of the, Macho Man, like oh yeah, brother. Like one of these challengers that wants the belt. Like, and I feel like all of this, back and forth, poking and prodding is the things that's going on in the tunnel, like off stage where, like where they're interviewing Jimmy Hart and like Macho Man comes out of the blue with like a folding chair. Like it's basically a Cold War. Again, I'm absolutely making fun of like this China-US thing, but China accuses the US of National Time Center. Essentially, we use NTP. Yeah, you know me, drink. We use NTP to kind of sync things and make sure that, everything's operating at the exact same time, especially if you're reviewing logs and you're trying to correlate events across time. You want to make sure that the timestamps are the same or else you're screwed. If the NSA did carry out a cyber attack on the National Time Center, it will impact all sorts of services. It is more disruptive than it is absolutely like a catastrophic attack on this, system. I'm sure China can get it back up and running, reboot it, if you will. Yeah, you can see here the U.S. is accusing others of what it does itself, repeatedly hyping up claims. That's what China's saying. It's a pissing match, dude. It's two neighbors that don't like each other, yelling over the fence, basically. U.S. Embassy didn't comment. Okay. I will tell you this. This is the final thing I'll say about this. Ted DiBiase. Oh, yeah. Demolition versus Bushwhackers. Nice, Steve. Guys, who knew? I guess Tidbits Tuesday is going to have a double shot. We're going to talk favorite tag team WWF, and then also I'll share pictures from the wedding this weekend. The final thing I'll say about this is somebody at the NSA either messed up or China is speculating. The impact of this attack is obvious, right? National Time Center goes down and all sorts of things are screwed up in China. The fact that they're blaming the NSA, I don't know if they have any telemetry to suggest that. If they do, someone at the NSA messed up, because China is very, very good at espionage. The NSA is very, very good at cyber operations. And basically, you don't want the adversary to know you're in there. If you're doing your job right at the NSA or at China's APT 41, I think it is. Yeah, APT 41, Wicked Panda. If you're or Double Dragon, oh man, that's cool. If you are doing your job right, they don't know you're in there, right? Nation state level cyber capabilities should be precision weapons, not loud, boisterous attacks. Okay, so that's just one quick little thing to note. We'll see where this goes, but these guys have been pecking at each other for forever.
Chrome store flooded with high-risk WhatsApp automation. Researchers have uncovered a large-scale campaign abusing 131 rebranded WhatsApp web automation extensions for Chrome to spam Brazilian users. The extensions, all built on the same code base, inject scripts directly into the WhatsApp web to automate bulk messaging while bypassing anti-spam limits with collectively over 20,000 active users. The campaign has been ongoing for at least 9 months, with updates still appearing as of last Friday.
All right. I mean, this is an interesting attack. Seems like overcomplicated for what it's achieving, but essentially, I don't use WhatsApp, so I can't really speak to it much. But like, it is a messaging app. A lot of people have the app on their phone, but apparently there is a um, web page for WhatsApp that you can use. And, like any modern web app, there's all sorts of JavaScript and all sorts of functions that go into it. And threat actors have discovered that they can insert their own using a Chrome extension. And there's 131 Chrome extensions. Obviously they're using social engineering to trick an end user into installing it. Once the user installs it, they think it's a WhatsApp add-on. And in reality, it is allowing a threat actor to bypass anti-spam controls to push so many outbound spam messages. Again, it's a numbers game. I mean, we haven't seen spam. I don't know. Spam's effective, but like seriously, who's the last person that bought Viagra from an email in their spam folder? Who's the last person who invested in, crypto from, somebody in the spam folder? So like, I don't know. That's why I'm saying I feel like it's a lot of effort for not a lot of it's a lot of squeezing of the lemon, but not a lot of juice coming out of it, right? So anyways, they're spamming the crap out of Brazil. If I had to guess, WhatsApp's wicked popular in Brazil. For all the South American people in chat, Andres Molinas, a couple others, be on the lookout. Brazil's got an serious uptick in activity in cyber threat actor behavior. Latin countries, Spanish-speaking Latin countries are definitely so hot right now. Brazilian cybercrime is so hot right now. Just be on the lookout. Anyway, this is one of those ones where you shouldn't really be updating your threat landscape. You should just be reinforcing what you already were doing as far as being aware of this, area. Obviously, educate your end users not to install every single friggin' Chrome extension. Double check where it's coming from, et cetera, et cetera. Also, let them know you can't depend on the rating. Oh, there's 5,000 5-star ratings. Threat actors can, fake that. We just saw like a fake SIM, warehouse get taken down yesterday that had like 40 million fake phone numbers, right? All of them could give 5-star reviews to the, a Chrome extension. So don't treat that. Oh my God, Daniel Lowry's here. Wow. We're doing manual sound effects today, Daniel. Just so you know, Daniel. Kathy Chambers, what's up?
Microsoft update issues. Microsoft's October 2025 Windows security updates are causing smart card authentication and certificate issues across Windows 10, 11, and Server, stemming from a change to strengthen cryptographic services. The update switches RSA-based smart card certificates from cryptographic service provider, CSP, to key storage provider, KSP, which can trigger login failures, errors in apps using certificate-based authentication, and invalid provider-type specified messages. A temporary fix involves manually disabling the new registry key, but you better act fast. Microsoft warns this key will be removed in April of 2026.
All right, dude. I'm going to do my best to navigate this one. I'm always like, dude, when it comes to crypto, I actually saw CISSP doesn't even have a cryptography domain. I feel like when I got my CISSP in 2009, there was a cryptography domain. If there's any olds in here that got their SysP back in the day, let me know if I'm mistaken. I know BSEC just got one. I was showing the students the other day and pulled up the domains, and there was not a crypto one. But I always struggle. Like, for me with cryptography in cybersecurity, just give me a known valid encryption algorithm, AES 256, and let's roll, right? I don't care about all the different, Raindoll versus Blowfish versus Two Fish, okay, hashes is hashes, but whatever they did here, they pushed it to make smart cards more secure, and they broke a bunch of crap. Smart cards, if you didn't know, are okay. So in the world of cybersecurity, when you authenticate, you something you have, something you are, something you know, something you have could be like a YubiKey or a smart card. Your smart card, typically, we see this with NMCI, and I know that's a 4-letter word that people hate in the U.S. federal government, DoD. But a smart card is basically, if you work in the DoD, but do they call it DOW now, by the way? Smart card has a chip on it. The chip has your private key on it, and your public key is in a certificate authority. And when you put the key card, which only you should own, into your computer, it uses it to authenticate that only you have the private key. The private key pairs with the public key. It's you authenticate in. Also, when you send an email, you can use that same card to digitally sign that email or that document, because only you have the private key, and the signature can be verified using the public key to that matches with it, that only you could have signed it with your private key. Basically, that's broken right now. So if your business depends on smart cards and authentication, chances are you're having a crappy day. Let's see. Well, one thing she said was, like, you better hurry up because they're taking it away. I don't understand what that means, because if they take it away, wouldn't you just roll back to the old version of how you were doing it before? Like, no one's rolling out smart cards based on this update. There is a workaround. So if you're at work and you're hearing the help desk or IT complain about this, there's a registry key setting that you can flip to easily fix this. You can do this with GPOs and roll it out wide. This is October 20th, so yesterday morning. So chances are you probably had this issue in your environment and then blamed it on AWS's outage and went and got tacos. But guess what? AWS is fixed, and your users still can't authenticate or digitally sign documents. So you might want to get in there. Let me see. Yeah. Anyways, that is what it is. Oh, the workaround will only last till April 2026. Well, you would think that in the next 8 months or 6 months that Microsoft can figure out how to solve this issue and unscrew the problem that they've screwed into this issue. Okay. I don't know, man. I got to tell you, really quick, personal beef. PKI is awesome. Public key infrastructure is awesome. Smart cards, public-private keys, so cool, so hot right now. But the management of them is notoriously problematic. Like revoking keys, updating, pushing these things, rollouts. These smart cards, guys, you issue them to your end users, and then there's an issue. They got to go to help desk because they got to physically take the key. You can't update it remotely. Like, at least as far as I know, like it's just PK. There's a reason that we don't use IPv6 often, because it's complicated and challenging, and IPv4 is easier. And there's a reason a lot of people don't use. We use PKI for some things where it's seamless, like standing up a TLS connection with a website to negotiate the symmetrical key. But I'm telling you, PKI is a pain in the A.
Huge thanks to today's episode sponsor, ThreatLocker. Cybercriminals don't knock. They sneak in through the cracks other tools miss. That's why organizations are turning to ThreatLocker. As a zero-trust endpoint protection platform, ThreatLocker puts you back in control, blocking what doesn't belong and stopping attacks before they spread. Zero Trust Security starts here with ThreatLocker.
All right. Now, we aren't doing the Simple Minds song because of copyright infringement. But what are we going to do? I'll do some lo-fi. All right, we're still on the lookout. Again, I know some people have sent me some options. Guys, I got to tell you, I am ridiculously busy with all the travel. I got a couple more talks I got to do this month up in Columbia and down at MUSC. Also, we have Simply CyberCon coming up, so I just haven't had time to really solve it. Thank you to the stream sponsors for their continued support. As always, we heard from ThreatLocker, Delete Me, Anti-Siphon earlier. Really quick, let me tell you about Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is providing high-quality opportunities for incident response and secure hardening. But did you know that Barricade Cyber also provides value to you, the cybersecurity practitioner community out there? Tomorrow, October 22nd, at 1 p.m. Eastern, Barricade Cyber is continuing their 4 to 5 365 series. Again, there's really no information here for me to provide you, so I don't know exactly what Eric's going to be doing in this. It would be helpful if there was some detail here, but the subtitle is Your Guide to Tenable CIS Microsoft 365 Foundation. So I'm going to make some assumptions here. Attend the webinar series, learn how you can configure your Microsoft 365 environment to align with CIS 18, maybe implementation guidance 1, best practices. Guys, if you're not hardening your Microsoft 365 environment, what are you doing? It's free. You already pay. I mean, it's not free. You already pay for it. So giddy up on that. Go to webinar.barricadecyber.com today to sign up for this talk tomorrow. Thank you, Barricade Cyber, as always. And guys, thank you to all of you. I would love to say thank you, DJ B-Set. Great to see you in Mod Chat. What's up, Haircut Fish? Justin Gold's in the hizzy. Casually Joseph when he wakes up. All the regulars in chat, guys. Every single day of the week has a special segment. Session 6, Microsoft Cloud App Security is tomorrow. So if you want to learn about Microsoft Cloud AppSec, come on down tomorrow to Barricade Cyber, webinar.barricadecyber.com. Guys, every day of the week has a special segment, and Tidbits Tuesday is one that we do. I am Gerald Auger. I'm the host of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief, but I'm a person too. I'm not some AI slop. I don't have 9 fingers on one hand. You picking up what I'm putting down, bruh? Woo! Okay, so I like to share a little bit, and today we're going to do a double shot. So what's the double shot? Number 1 is I grew up. All right, hey, Mr. Born Second, Mr. Firstborn Second, live in Cali, catching the live show. Welcome to the party, pal. Everybody at Mr. Firstborn Second. So guys, we talked a little bit about the WWF earlier. I did grow up in the WWF. I will tell you, favorite individual wrestler was Ultimate Warrior. As I've gotten older, I've come to find out that he was actually kind of a lunatic and not a great coworker at the WWF. So that's definitely one issue that I wanted to, or one thing I wanted to share. And then secondly, my favorite tag team, Legion of Doom with Hawk and Animal. Really loved them. They kind of came in at the end. I was a big fan of Demolition also. And then obviously the early Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Miss Elizabeth group. I was a fan of them. All right. Now, secondly, we did go to a wedding this past weekend. I wanted to just share a picture. Many of you know my family. I love sharing it. They're great people. And here we go. So this is us at the wedding. Myself, Mrs. Auger, and our 2 our two beautiful sons. A nice little photo, all dressed up, looking great. Obviously, the smoke show here on the left is my wife, and my two kids I'm very proud of for all they do. So that's a little Tidbits Tuesday, sharing my life with you. I hope you guys can dig it. Thanks for checking that out. Let's get back into the news, shall we?
Swedish home security company breached. Verisure reported a data breach at its Swedish subsidiary, Alert Alarm, affecting around 35,000 current and former customers. The compromised data included your normal PII, including names, addresses, emails, and social security numbers, though Verisure's main network across Europe and Latin America was not impacted. The breach comes just a week after Verisure's 3.2 billion euro IPO, which saw shares drop more than 5%. And Swedish authorities have opened an investigation into suspected blackmail and an aggravated data breach.
All right. I do appreciate Lauren Verno kind of like poo-pooing or downplaying the compromise of PII. Just like, yep, it's a day that ends in Y. This is I feel like this is a Swedish version of what's that company that Luke Kuechly is hawking products for? You see it on the NFL games, like CPI Security or whatever, where like there's like a burglar doing like terrible burglaring, and then someone's like, "Stop, go away, you're being reported." Like somebody's like, wearing like a red shirt in some data center somewhere, yelling through a microphone. I feel like that's what this company is, except the Swedish version of it. So they're more Scandinavian about it, right? They're like, please go away. Have a good afternoon. Stop burgling. Okay, so what are we doing here? Swedish police confirmed that they have opened an investigation into blackmail and aggravated data breach following a report filed last week. Whatever. Okay. This is like the most nothing story. Okay. This company's shares fell 5% on this news. Not a financial channel, but I got to tell you guys, number one, this story is about as thin as me in college. Okay. Turn sideways, I disappear. You can count my ribs, paper thin thorax, whatever you want to call it. This story has no meat. This looks like a ham bone that like a Depression era cartoon would give to a dog. Okay. Now the story, by the way, I don't know where these analogies are coming from. Okay. Number two, like you don't see companies losing stock value all that much anymore based on a data breach. Now, SolarWinds is an exception because SolarWinds got, ramrodded, rode hard and put up wet. But most companies suffer a data breach and it's like a blip on the radar. So for this one to go down 5%, honestly, guys, I got to tell you, not a financial channel, but like, hey, let's see where they're trading. Stock, right? Or for you Gen Zs, stonks. All right, this sucker's traded on the NASDAQ Stockholm. Boy, let's go. Show me the graph. Okay, here we go. What are we looking at? Again, by the way, like we, right, including myself, get all geeked up on the tech stuff and the 0 days and everything, but you got to remember, everybody, okay? I've learned this as I've gotten old, right? Everything is basically, not everything. I mean, obviously government's government, but like many of us support businesses. Businesses are generating revenue. Cybersecurity is there to help enable business and all these other things. We're a cost center, though. The vitality and the value of a business directly correlates to how it's going to invest, what's important, etc. So, looking at these stock values and understanding is important. So, you could see hold on, this story must be old, bro. Where's the story? Oh, crap almighty. Hold on one second. This story's got to be old, man. October 20th. So it's 1 day old. When was the attack? a statement on Friday. Okay, so the news report. Oh Jesus, what is this? So they reported it on Friday, October 17th, right? Which means we missed the dip. You can see here. Look at this really quick. If you're listening online, I'm showing a graph of this company's stock value. On the 16th, it traded at 1622. On the 17th, it traded at 1540. You could see here today on the 20th, it's already gone up to 1575. It's still beneath where it was trading. Last week it was at 1581, so it's already kind of recovered. This is what I'm talking about, dudes. Data breaches, cyber attacks, they don't really do this anymore. And the fact that the company recovered in like a day just goes to show you what I'm talking about. So we used to be able to use reputational harm and financial damage as kind of a lever in our toolbox to get the CEO and the CFO to spend money on us, but not so much anymore. Not true.
Hundreds of thousands remain exposed in F5 breach.
Hundreds of thousands, including
A
Phil
follow-up to
Stafford.
a story we first reported last week. More than 262,000 F5 big IP devices remain exposed online after the company confirmed a breach by nation-state hackers. The attackers stole source code and data after gaining access to F5's big IP development and engineering systems. F5 said there were no signs of compromise in its financial cloud or CRM systems, and only limited customer configuration data was taken. The breach has been privately linked to the China-based threat group UNC 5221, which was found to be active in the network for at least a year.
Oh my God. All right. So a couple of things. Number one, threat actors that begin with UNC, they're basically a threat actor that defensive companies like, FireEye or Microsoft Defender or whatever, like they've seen some activity, but they can't attribute it to an existing threat actor. And they're reluctant yet to give it its own threat actor name. That's what the UNC means. It's like unknown. It's like unknown. Okay. So it's possible that an UNC, and I know that that's a Gen Z term, by the way, because I got called an UNC recently. But I understand that UNCs can at some point be attributed to an existing threat actor. So don't think that, that's not the case. Here's the deal. If you're running F5 big IP systems, right, which I think are firewalls, aren't they? I think they're firewalls. Hold on one second. Oh my God. I have no patience when copy Control C doesn't take. All right. Let's see. The F5 Big IP is a platform for app delivery, security, and performance. Also, it's a load balancer. It has advanced firewall manager, application security manager. Okay. So here's the deal. This is a pretty important enterprise-grade internet-facing device that helps manage applications, load balancing, and firewalls. All right. So this is, or a web application firewall. Thanks, Jeremy. So this is a problem. Okay. This device is designed to be internet facing. Threat actors stole source code. Hello. Source code allows you to do analysis and discover potential software vulnerabilities and develop exploitation in your own lab, and then unleash holy hell on the internet. 262,000 devices are currently exposed online, which I'm sure the journalists used Shodan to find. Shodan.io is a phenomenal resource. If you don't know about it, you should know about it. Shodan.io. I'm showing it on stream right now. The question I have here is F5 offering up any type of mitigation or patch? Now, F5 is saying it didn't find any signs of compromise in its system. So the business F5 is saying that the business operations are fine. Honestly, I don't give a flip about that, F5. Like, okay, your financial systems are good. Cool. Cool story, bro. I'm more concerned about my F5 device that's protecting the network that I'm responsible for protecting, that has all my secrets and all my sensitive data. That's what I'm concerned about. So like this right here I'm like tone deaf to this, okay? This, to me, this is the equivalent, okay? This is the equivalent of someone crashing their car into your car, right? And then them getting out and being like, hey, it's cool. The damage to my car is not that bad. I think I can drive my car out of here. Meanwhile, your car is totaled. You're like, bro, you crashed into my car. I don't care about your car. How about my situation since you are negligent? Like, it's just, to me, whatever. Good for you, F5. Super chill, buddy. Like, the problem, like, it's just, you're missing the forest for the trees there, dude. All right, they filled a Form 8K report because the SEC requires you to expose all your dirty secrets. Here we go. This is what actually matters. F5 says install latest updates. You gotta patch it. Dudes, my friends, I would make this a priority. I would low-key shut it down and go get this sorted out, either from your IT team, your networking team, your DJ BSECs in the world, whatever it is. Get your F5 big IP devices patched, because a nation-state threat actor is the one who stole the data. Nation-state threat actors have the capability and the means to reverse it, flip it, rub it down, and develop an exploitation with the quickness.
Windows SMB attacks continue.
Ugh.
CISA warns that threat actors are actively exploiting a high-severity Windows SMB vulnerability that lets attackers gain system privileges on unpatched systems. The flaw affects all Windows Server 10 and 11 versions up to 24H2 and was patched in June of 2025, though proof of concept details were publicly available beforehand. Exploitation involves tricking victims into connecting to a malicious SMB server, allowing attackers to elevate privileges remotely.
All right. Listen, when I take that 2 weeks off, I'm going to update the soundboard. I'm also going to add an emote to the squad memberships. We'll have to choose as a community like what the drink emote is, but there's got to be a drink one. And yes, I put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're missing out on a whole thing. All right, here's the deal. SMB server message block. It's a thing. It allows Windows machines to communicate with other systems on a Windows network. It can be exploited. This vulnerability, you have a 4% chance of getting it exploited in the next 30 days. It's kind of gnarly. This is an example where it's pretty bad. You could see it's 88th percentile of all the vulnerabilities in this EPSS database, but it only has an 8.8, so it's not considered critical. Just it's considered high. Kathy Chambers, please do not point out the obvious. It's not, I am taking those 2 weeks off. Okay. I don't see it as work. It's doing emotes. Emotes are fun, right? All right, here's the deal. Quite simply put, if you applied the June 2025 patch on your Windows machines, you're all set, baby. Ain't no issues here. You went and patched it, right? You already patched it, bro. It's friggin' October. If you didn't apply the June 2025 patch, what are you doing? Second of all, this is a privilege escalation vulnerability, not like like you'd have to be compromised already. A threat actor is already calling you from inside the house. So you've got bigger problems cooking at this point. But you know what? Windows SMB, you burnt. And also, Kathy Chambers, great observation. I did not realize I said that I would be working Listen, I have made a promise to my wife. Really quick Tidbits Tuesday, just so people know. 2 years ago, I told my wife I was taking December off. I did not. And my family was like, okay. And then last year I said I was going to take 2 weeks off, and I did not. And this year I said I'm taking 2 weeks off. And I've told everybody, I'm telling you guys, I told everybody that would listen to me at the wedding, I'm trying to make it, will it into existence. So my wife told me she would believe it when she saw it. I'm taking 2 weeks off. I need to.
Experian to delete Dutch database. Experian Netherlands was fined €2.7 million by the Dutch Data Protection Authority for GDPR violations after collecting and using personal data without consent, including information that influenced customer contracts and deposits. The company has stopped operating in the Netherlands and plans to delete its database of personal information by the end of the year, acknowledging the violations and not appealing the fine.
All right, 2 things here. Number one, Experian is one of the major credit like agencies or whatever. And they got fined $2 million for, basically poor practices of Netherlands citizens' data. GDPR is a very strong privacy regulation with real teeth, right? $27 million. Here's the deal. If you work with a business that does business in the European Union, you've got to comply with GDPR for that personal data. And it can be challenging. Okay. Also, it's like PCI, credit card information. Like, you got to manage it, right? They're going to delete this database. I'm sure this is like their scorched earth routine. I will tell you from a business perspective, this is what I see when I hear this story. This is what I see. Number one, they're definitely not making money in the Netherlands, because if they were making significant money, this would be the cost of doing business. Okay, here's $2.7 million fine. There you go. Number two, they probably have their environment architected in such a way that it would be very expensive and very challenging to carve off a GDPR compliant version of their architecture. They probably evaluated and said, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Okay. That's what I see when I see this. $2.7 million. Like, and by the way, Experian admitted that they were doing it wrong and they're just going to pay the fine. A lot of businesses will pay the fine, but not acknowledge wrongdoing. Experian's like, whatever, hold my beer, Netherlands. We'll see you later. We're going back to America, where privacy laws are way less strict. Okay, so big deal. If you are a Dutch person in chat, it's a win for you on the privacy side. For everybody else, this is a whatever story. Like, this is like, you'll forget this by lunchtime today.
In the same breath, a vendor.
All right. Holla, holla, holla. All right, y'all. I want to say thank you for being here. I do have to go teach at the Citadel. Normally, Eric Taylor does jaw jacking on Tuesdays. I don't see him in the studio, so we might, it's a good chance we're not doing jaw jacking today. I do want to say thank you to everybody. Again, shout out to the stream sponsors who enable me to bring this program to you every single day. Today was episode 988. My goodness. We do have Simply Offensive, I believe. Yeah. Simply Offensive, 30 certs and counting with Jacob Krell today at 9:30 a.m. So go get a cup of coffee, maybe some Eggo waffles, and come on back. Check out Philip Wiley's Simply Offensive, Season 2, Episode 2. I'm going to go educate the youth of tomorrow. Be well. Thanks for saying hi to my family. I was very happy to share them with you. If you are coming to Simply CyberCon, I can tell you definitively my family is heavily involved with that. They are part of the community. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, Have a great Tuesday, everybody. We'll see you a little bit later. Stay secure.